All right, good morning, guys, and welcome to another market update for the upcoming week, the week of the 29th of June. I hope you guys had a good week trading last week. A number of the pairs that I had broken down did exactly as I had predicted, especially the USD CHF. That was a massive trade. The Euro USD, massive as well. The USD CAD. The USD CAD did exactly, well, it did what we wanted it to do, but it would have created a massive wick before selling off. And the NZD as well, it did do what we wanted it to do, but it didn't go all the way to take profit. The losses for last week was the NZD USD. That one didn't play out the way we had wanted to. But nevertheless, the majority of our trades did exactly what we wanted. And so I hope you guys made a profit off of that. Now let's jump into this week. I only have a few pairs this week. There's only a few of them I actually like the way they look. I'm going to start off with the AUD CAD. Now the AUD CAD, as you can see, all of last week we had this massive bullish candle, right? Massive, massive bullish candle. But now it's at trend, it's at our trend line, and it's at our area of interest, our support and resistance level. And this is on a weekly time frame. If we go down to the daily, we can see at this point, we've shown some rejection over the past or the last 2 days of the trading week, so Thursday and Friday. If we look at it even closer, if we go down to the 4 hours, we can see price got all the way up into our area, rejected, retested again on Friday, rejected. So that's a good indication that price wants to sell down. And so that's exactly what I expect to happen because we have an area of confluence. You can see it more clearly here, an area of confluence. We have our trend line with our resistance level, and we have signs of rejections within that area. 1, 2. So I expect a sell. So this upcoming week, what we should do, I want to see price go back into this area and reject once more, which should happen, I think, maybe over the course of a London session, which would be early Monday morning, and that should start the move downwards. So I want price to get back into this area, create another rejection within the area, and start selling. Of course, we need to put our stop loss above the area, and then the next most plausible area for price to start maybe retracing. That's where we'll put our take profit. So right about here. All right. Now, quite similar to our AUD CAD would be our NZD CAD. Again, we have an area of confluence. We have our trend line. We have our support/resistance zone. In this case, it's acting as a resistance. And you can see when price gets to this area, price usually rejects the area. Last week, however, we had a massive bullish candle. But coming down to the end of the week, there were signs of rejection as price got to that area of confluence once again. All right. So we sold off on Thursday. We retested on Friday. As we take it down, you get a closer look. You can see there's the rejection there. All right. So same thing. I want to see price come back into this area and then reject. And we'll enter the trade. NZD, USD, similar. So all these pairs are moving in a quite similar fashion. All right. GBP/AUD. Now, this is a counter trend trade. Price again at a high, a weekly/monthly high. Whenever price gets to this area, we sell off, but we're in an uptrend at the moment. So this is a counter trend trade. It's not the ideal trade that we want, but there's a great chance that this is going to sell off. See, price consistently rejects this zone. On multiple occasions during the week, price came to this zone and just kept rejecting it. On 3 occasions on Friday, price came to this zone and just rejected it. So what I want to see on Monday is for price to enter the zone one more time. That's where we'll take our sell and we'll take it from there. Euro AUD, similar. So GBP AUD, Euro AUD, same thing. But just remind yourself that this here is a counter trend trade. The CAD JPY sold off an area of confluence. So we can see price tried to break through the zone, but even when it broke through, sold off, tried once again, but didn't have the momentum to make it stick, so it sold off. You're now under that support, so it's now resistance. So let me show you what I mean. So this was the support here when price was above, broke through support, retesting it currently, preparing to sell off, all right? So what I want to see here is price come back into this zone and then sell, right? So this here is a trending market. This is not a counter trend trade. This was always a bearish market. This was just the retest of that bear market, all right? So this here goes with the trend. GBP, JPY, we expect sells here again, but this here would be a counter trend trade because price is in an uptrend at this point, but it's at daily/a weekly high. And as you would notice, the last 2 times price came to this point, we had a massive sell-off. So I'm expecting a sell-off once again. Counter trend trade. Price is at the area. So I'm looking for signs that price will reject the area. At this point, you can see price accumulating at this level. I want to see price. Let me move a little lower for you guys. Let's go to 30 minutes. So I want to see price reject the area. And then reject and sell off. All right. So something like this I want to see. Price gets into the zone, breaks, retests, starts to sell. But with the exception that when it starts to sell, it doesn't go back, it just continues going. Remember to keep your stop loss outside of the zone for that sell. Same thing here, SGD, JPY. Now, this isn't a pair that I want to trade, but it's basically the same setup. All right? And those are my pairs for this week. Those are my pairs for this week. Let me give you an additional. The CHF pairs. CHF pairs are selling off, all right? CHF pairs are selling off. So you can look out for potential sells on this pair as well. I had taken this trade here. Wonderful payout. Price just continue to sell and sell. So what I want to see here is for price to come back to this market and then just keep going. That would be a lovely sell. All right. You see the same here with NZD-CHF. Price to come back to the area and sell. I wouldn't take this one because this wouldn't, unless it, well, not even if it did, unless it comes to this resistance area, I wouldn't take the trade. I wouldn't take it off of the trend line. I believe the resistance here is a much stronger resistance than the trend line. So I'd feel more comfortable if price were to come to this area of resistance and then sell rather than to the trend line. But with this one here, you would see an area of confluence. So the trend line and the area of resistance would meet. And if it comes here, definitely I would take this trade. I would take this trade over the NZD. All right. So that's it for this week. Those are my peers, not too many of them. I'm not expecting a whole lot this week because we have NFP on Thursday because the 4th of July is Friday. So instead of having the NFP on Friday, which was a bank holiday, massive holiday in the US, we're going to have the NFP on Thursday. So it's a much shorter trading week if you're the type of person who avoids NFP. For those who avoid Mondays and avoid Fridays, nothing new. Well, if of course you also avoid the NFP, you basically just have two trading days. You'd have Tuesday and you'd have Wednesday. All right, but I expect moves to start happening on Monday. So watch out for it. Be prepared. Remember, do your risk reward. Don't move your stop loss and manage your trades properly. All right. Until next week, happy trading.